Hey.
Hey.
I brought some cookies. I know they're chocolate oatmeal is your favorite, right?
Thanks. Anyways, since you're here, you drove here, right?
Yeah.
So, can I borrow your car though? Because I need, and $50. I need to pick up something at the mall. Is that okay?
I kind of need the car, but...
Come on now. You know I could use your car, right? You trust me, right? Right? You're nice, right? Yeah.
Fine.
Thanks, dude. See you later. I'm just gonna grab stuff from your purse, alright? See ya.
Have fun. Hello and welcome to another episode of Life Lessons. I'm Shannon.
And I'm ceLLy.
And today we're talking about an issue I think that almost affects everyone is being too nice.
But what's the difference between being too nice and just being nice? And how do you know you're being passive aggressive? It just
I feel like it comes off with the tone. Like there's kind of like you can tell, like just like the look of like how someone says something. Like even like they'll say it in the most professional way, but there'll be that like that you can see in their eyes that like.
Right.
You know, but
have you ever been too nice?
Yeah.
Like what situations have you been too nice?
I've been too nice and say, even in dating, like you're just like, oh, you don't want to do anything? Oh, okay, it's fine. Or like, yeah, with friends, like say they really want to do something, and you're like, I'm not really comfortable with that, and you're like, oh, okay.
Well, like you're not really voicing it, right? You're just being nice, just so that
just to go along with it,
to go along with what they're saying, right?
And then you feel like a doormat after.
Yeah, and then they're just like, oh well, Shannon's not gonna mind, so we're just gonna do whatever we want and not what Shannon wants.
Yeah. What about you, Celeste?
Well, I remember always in high school because I've always wanted like friends too, right? So like I would always be like, oh yeah, they could do whatever, and then it's no big deal if I am not gonna do anything or like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got in that routine in high school, just like oh whatever, and then I just brushed it off because I was like, wait, what's up? What about me, right? And I brush up my own emotions just for that like friends to go to
for
friends.
the friends, yeah.
Right, but like I was always blinded because like they didn't really care about what I was going through, right?
When you're being too nice, you know you're being too nice because you know inside that it's crossing up your boundaries. You feel like you need to know your own boundaries, and if your boundaries are eroded, that's when you need to
vocalize when you
walk away.
Yeah.
Like, preferably vocalize, but not everyone is so
vocal. So they at least say something and be like, okay, I'm not okay with this, and tell them, and then they'll respect you more, right? That's what I find.
Yes, but yeah, no, I agree with that. But not everyone is so confident with saying stuff face to face.
Yeah.
It comes from a very almost vulnerable place where you're like, I want people to really like me, so I'm going to be really nice. Or you want to get along with everyone. You don't want anyone like enemies on either side because like cliques and form. So you're like, no, I'm going to be cool with everyone.
But then again, that also comes with your confidence too, right?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not going to be accepted.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
So like you have to know who you are too.
Right? I feel like it's
So you have to, I think that you should know who you are so you don't be bothered by I need to be accepted by everybody.
I feel like this is something we should cover next season, how to find out who you are.
Right?
Because that's the common theme I think with every life lesson that we've had, like you need to know who you are. Yeah. One thing is I think it's interesting when people know, they're like, oh, I'll ask her or I'll ask him because he's a nice guy. And
right.
I feel like, and that's when
people
you
get
taken advantage of, and you can see it. You're like, I know she or he is going to use him because I know what they're like. And you
Right.
want to, like, as a friend, you want to, like, defend them and be like, no, leave him alone.
But
he can
the person will not learn
ever, yeah.
if you try to defend somebody else. So what have we learned today, Shannon?
Today, my final thought with being too nice would be, if you know you are too nice and this is something you suffer from, because I do it too.
Me too.
Know that you are like that. But just kind of monitor yourself with how you act around certain, because if you know you're like, okay, this is the type of person that I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna do this for you and this for you, and you don't see anything in return, that's when you have to maybe back away.
For me, always know what the other person's intentions are, right? And especially what was I gonna say? Always know the other person's intention, and when you meet somebody, just because they're nice, it doesn't mean that, like, they seem nice doesn't mean that they're going to do stuff for you. Not automatically that they're going to be your friend, right? So, like, especially when you're first meeting somebody, don't always be expecting that they're going to be like, oh yeah, let's be buddy, and they're going to do stuff for you, and they're going to automatically be friendships, right? They're just being nice just to put on a face, right?
Yeah.
Or so they're not always your friends.
Or if you do stuff, maybe don't expect things in return.
Right.
Like, that could
Make
be
sure that, like, you know, as Shannon mentioned before, know your limits.
Yeah.
Right. So make sure that you know, and always, I would always say vocalize what you are, because in a way you have to be a little bit selfish, right? So
you gotta
you know, like, because for me, I always try to be nice to everybody, but like I would always try to mention what my concerns are at the same time, and I know when to, like, say, okay, no. Like, I can't.
I don't do that, or that's not who I am, or I feel like, that's disrespectful to
yeah.
You know?
So know what you want to give up from yourself, and know what their intentions are, right? So
yeah, absolutely. Well, if you
so if you want to leave your stories, we want to know your stories. If you want to leave your stories at the door,
then
leave it. Fine, whatever.
Yeah.
We're not gonna look at it. Anyways, leave your comments below. We would love to hear from you.
Yes, thank you so much for tuning in, and
stay tuned for next episode,
which is the top 10 life lessons of the past season.
What?
Exciting. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care.